guys, I got my hands on this book some time ago, but I didn't manage to make a review about it, and so yesterday I checked my shelf, remembered that I have this book, and decided to make a proper review of it. So let's start by saying that I bought this book only because of this exclusive Joan of Arc Infinity model, which I really like. But the book itself is quite good. It's Painting Miniatures from A to Z by Giraldez Masterclass Volume 1. Before I dive into the book, I want to say that Angel is mostly painting airbrush. For those of you who paint with a generic brush as me, will actually be very disappointed with this book. I actually enjoyed it because it's there is quite a few of tips regarding a generic brush, but mostly it's only airbrush. So let's dive in right into it. So the quality of the book is very good. Here's a little thank you by Angel himself, so that's nice. And here is his methods and how the book is actually laid out. As you can see, it's step by step. It's numbered. The steps are numbered, and on each of this picture he actually shows which technique he's using, the airbrush or the normal brush. As you can see here, he used both, and here he used only the brush. Here he uses airbrush. So which point is very nice for a painter to actually be able to see what technique he uses. Now on this page he actually shows you all the equipment that he uses himself. So all of this that you can see here, he actually uses himself. So which is also very nice to be able to see what products the painter actually uses. Some generic tips for airbrush and how he actually proceeds the painting with covering the model with cling film and not cling film but transparent film to prevent it damaging the models when he's touching it, and so on and so forth, and using the liquid max to actually prevent over airbrushing the part that he already painted before. Now this section I quite like. It's how to paint a non-metallic metal, which I am currently trying to achieve myself. So this is very nice. Stippling, I actually enjoy this read the most because I want to use the technique sometime. Washing, this is a very important section right here. It's points of light. It's actually very good tips on how to use airbrush, light spots and everything. I don't follow these steps because I just don't care. Glazes, which is also quite nice. Glazes are a very important step for any painter out there. Now he actually just shows off how he painted this model right here, which, yeah. As I said, he uses mostly airbrush, so I don't use airbrush, so I can skip a lot of these parts. And again, showing off one of their Infinity models. And one thing that I noticed is that he uses this light green. It's called dead flesh. Very often for his greens. He basically starts with generic green and then works in dead flesh to highlight the model, and yeah, he just uses it very much throughout this book. And here is the finished model, which you can see is very good, and he painted it all step by step, so you can follow his steps and probably achieve the same result if you are a pro painter. again, just showing off all his tips. Painting the busts, which I find very interesting, because I have a problem painting faces, but not a problem, but I achieved my own technique on how I paint faces and facial expressions on models. And for beginners, you actually, this is very important for it, because he paints a large model, but you can see the techniques very clearly that he uses, and then you can transfer all these techniques on a smaller model, which I find very interesting. Again, as you can see, he's using this liquid stuff to prevent the overdoing the airbrushing. Once again, just showing off all his models that he painted. Now this is the model that this is the bust that I actually very like. Again, he's using the dead flesh, as you can see here, always on the green parts. This is the model that I actually read step by step, every step, because I liked how he did this gray, bluish black from gray, and achieved these colors, which I actually want to try it myself. So yeah, there's a lot of good tips and techniques in this book. It's a very good read. Once again, painting busts, showing off other models. I'm actually when I bought the book only for the Joan of Arc model, I was very disappointed when I found out that this is only about mostly about airbrush. But when I started reading it, I got really excited and found a lot of useful tips for myself. And then they're just showing out the gallery of his other works that are not in the book, which you can find on the Infinity websites as well. So yeah, so that's the entire book. Would I recommend it for beginners? If you want to airbrush, yes. If you want to just paint with a generic brush, I wouldn't recommend for beginners. My perspective on all the books that tell about you how to do something are good for people who actually already know how to do those stuff. Example, painting. I know how to paint. This is a great read for me to actually find new tips, new techniques for me. For the beginners, not so much. And if you want to consider airbrushing, this is a must buy, even for the beginners, because I think you achieve airbrushing faster with the tips that Angel actually provides here. So I hope you like the review. Thanks for watching and have a nice day, guys.